This is the time of year when we're all getting together, and no matter where you stand on the issues, we can agree time together is important. Take a look at this data from Pew Research Center and a study by Backyard Oasis. It surveyed more than 5,000 people. 73% of U.S. adults say spending time with family is one of the most important things to them personally. The average family spends about 6 hours and 17 minutes together a week, averaging out to about an hour a day. And that's often during dinner. Families typically get together for a meal about 4 times a week. As for what's the preferred activity when we're all just hanging out together, 41% say watching television or movies. Now, even though we're watching TV together, it's other technologies that are getting in the way of that quality family time.
From the get-go, we need to be thinking about how we can maintain the interactivity with our children, how we and our children can have robust experiences on screens of all types, but do that in a way that it leads to our engagement.
About 70% of parents report that screens sometimes or frequently distract them from family time. Nearly 52% say sometimes. About 19% say it frequently gets in the way. 23% say it rarely does, while just 7% say it's never a problem. It's easy to see why this could be a big issue. Studies show parents spend an average of 9 hours a day on their screens. Teenagers, a little less. They spend about 7.5 hours on screens a day. For those 12 to 18 years old, it then drops to 5.5 hours today. 36% of kids will already be scrolling and using touchscreens before they reach their first birthdays. By age 2, more than 1/4 were using mobile devices for at least an hour a day. Well, sometimes that can be just to give parents a break.
In the mornings when I'm trying to unload the dishwasher, and in the afternoons when I'm trying to cook dinner. It is hard, especially when you're a mom and you just need a few minutes of a break.
Now, many of us have seen children at a restaurant with their family, eyes then glued to that tablet. Maybe you've been the parent who pulls out the screen to try to avoid any public outbursts. But those moments of temporary relief can also have harmful consequences. A study released in September found preschool-aged children who used a tablet displayed more anger and frustration as they got older because they had trouble regulating emotions.
And there's a little bit of whining, they get upset, and I tell them, depending on how upset they get, that affects how much time in the future they get to have the iPad.
Now, some Charlotte parents are working to re-engage their children at the dinner table by enlisting the help of an etiquette coach. Our Natisha Land spoke with instructor Elizabeth Ann Russell and learned some pointers every parent could benefit from just in time for the holidays.
Etiquette is not just about knowing which fork to use.
Etiquette gives us some social structure around some rules, some guardrails around how we can interact with one another and show each other honor, dignity, and respect.
Elizabeth Ann Russell is a third-generation etiquette instructor.
My mom taught etiquette for 30 years. My grandmother taught etiquette for 30 years. And it was really important.
Russell works in banking.
Hi.
But decided to cut back on her full-time job to open the Charlotte School of Etiquette in May.
What do you like about etiquette class?
I love the people that I'm in the class with.
When you meet someone for the very first time, that is a first impression.
We can learn new things and a lot of things from etiquette class.
Turn the corners of your mouth up and start smiling. It's going to change how you feel.
What I like about etiquette class is that you can write letters to your friends.
It has been the most fun and unexpected year of my life. I have loved teaching these classes. I love these children.
A mom of 3, Russell knows the challenges many parents face when it comes to battling screens while dining with young children.
But it's not teaching a life skill that they're going to need, which is to enjoy conversation and to enjoy a meal with your family and to give them the attention they need.
Parents need to set a good example for their children, says Russell.
Where should I put my napkin? Jack.
And practicing good manners at mealtime doesn't always have to be formal. It can be fun too.
Turn on music. We can play games. We love to play a conversation game at my house, which is very simple, rose, thorn, and ladybug. I think playing games at the table are important. I think that helps to include your child in conversation and participate in the meal.
This holiday season, some families want to ditch the screens and help their kids be more present.
Okay, Jack, what do you think I should do?
Russell says setting the tone for a smooth holiday dinner with kids starts before sitting down at the table.
And I think having a conversation before a meal is happening at someone's home. So we're going to grandmother's house, we are going to have dinner, and this is the way we expect for the evening to go.
Above all, gratitude is the greatest expression of etiquette.
Thank you, Mrs. Russell.
One of the games I like to play with my kids before we go to someone's home is, and it's transferring responsibility, but you know, daughters, before you leave this home, whether we're being hosted, I want you to thank the person that's invited us over. Thank them plus one compliment. Say one thing you enjoyed before you get back in the car and this is over, and then tell me about it.
It's nice to meet you.
Hi, Grady. Nice to meet you as well.
With gratitude.
You guys are great.
Natisha Lance for On Your Side Tonight.